This is Jonathan Agger, 5th Pro Boxing Fans Fight Week in Vegas. Canelo against Golovkin, the trilogy on Saturday. Joined by Frank Smith. Frank, looking different?
Why is that?
I've never seen you in glasses. Is this a new thing?
My eyesight's in a bit of a bad way, so I decided to make the jump. But I quite like them.
Yeah, no, we've got the same on, so
I think it might change my life because it's making things a lot easier already.
That's good to know. All right, Frank. Fight week just done the grand arrivals. Canelo and Golovkin. First question: if this fight hadn't have happened, would you have been had a bit of regret not seeing this third fight, given how close the first two were?
Yeah, look, I think everyone wanted to see this fight for a long time. It's been a long time coming, and I think there's been many attempts to make it happen, but we're here now, and it deserves to take place. And it's going to be. Can't wait for Saturday night because you've got two guys who are going to go in there and give it everything. You know, Canelo coming off the back of the Bivol fight, which was a tough loss for him. Obviously wants to avenge that loss in time, and Golovkin coming off the back of the Murata fight in Japan, which was a tough night for him as well. So I think we're going to see a close fight on Saturday, and looking forward to it.
Canelo said sort of throughout this build-up that this is personal for him. Is there an element that because of the loss to Bivol, it's become more personal? He's putting that pressure on himself to win because he knows he can't lose again. Is that why it's become personal?
Maybe, but I also think there's a lot of feelings there between the two of them. It's quite easy to see in the press conferences, in the face-offs that they do, that feeling that the two of them have got for each other. So, I think that's a big part of it. And take away the belts, take away what's happened in the part like the Bivol fight, this is a huge moment for him, and he wants to go in there and get the win.
Given how close the first two fights were, even though Golovkin's 40 years old, are you surprised by how many people believe that Canelo wins this fight by stoppage? Golovkin's never been stopped.
Yeah, look, I think people will judge him off the back of the Murata fight maybe as well, where in the earlier rounds he seemed to have a bit of a tougher time out there, but there's a lot of reasons behind it. So I think we're going to see a real interesting fight. Golovkin, as you say, never been stopped, a big puncher, tough. How much of a difference does the weight make as well? We always see Golovkin, he's quite drawn at weigh-ins, so how much difference will the 8 pounds make for him as well? So I think there's lots of things that will play into how this fight goes.
Frank, I do just want to ask you about news in the last sort of 24 hours. Chris Eubank Sr. threatening to pull Chris Eubank Jr. out of the Conor Benn fight. First of all, did you guys have an inkling that this could happen?
No, but that's Chris Eubank Sr. Talking for himself. He's not talking for Chris Eubank Jr. Chris is, as far as I can see, and he's been training hard, ready to go for October the 8th. Everything's going ahead as normal. Chris Eubank Sr. may have his view, but that doesn't. Our deal is not with Chris Eubank Sr. It's obviously Chris Eubank Jr. and Wasserman Boxing, and the fight goes ahead. Did
Senior personally reach out to either you, Eddie, or Calla about how unhappy he is about this?
Oh, look, we obviously, Calla, Sauerland and Wasserman Boxing promote Chris Eubank Jr. That's who managed the relationship there, so they would have dealt with each other throughout this process. But, as I say, it's Chris Eubank Jr.'s decision. He's the one getting in there, getting in the ring. He's the one who signed to take the fight, and everything continues as normal. So, it's the first time I've heard that from Eubank Sr., but, we move along as we were.
So, as far as you're concerned, this fight goes ahead October 8th at 157, same thing as yesterday, basically.
100%, nothing changes.
Anthony Joshua this morning, 258, said accepted terms to fight Tyson Fury on December 3rd. Your sort of reaction, and I'm guessing you guys were involved in that. What made Joshua and you guys accept terms for this fight?
As Eddie said, we met George Warren on Friday in London, agreed the terms. And it's a massive fight. Look, AJ wants to get back in there, and he believes he beats Tyson Fury. So the opportunity in boxing, how many years have we been saying Joshua Fury is going to happen here, it's going to happen there? Sometimes you just got to take it when it's there, and he can go in there and do the business against Tyson Fury. And you have to respect him as well for after coming off the back of the two Usyk fights, going straight in there against Tyson Fury. He shows that he wants the biggest fights. He's not trying to shy away from anything. So he's accepted. He's accepted all the terms, no issues. So let's go.
What changed from a couple of days ago when Eddie said that you guys preferred December 17th and 60-40 in the rematch? What changed? Because I don't know if it's true, but most reports say that it's 50-50 in the rematch and December 3rd.
In terms of the date, December 17th, AJ boxed August 20th. December 17th is 4 months away. It's not a lot of time in this level of boxing in terms of time back in camp, etc. So that was the focus always. He was always fighting December 17th. That was always the plan. His training camp, etc. So but he said, let's take it, let's go with it. And ultimately, AJ's the boss, and he's happy to go with December 3rd.
Tell me what happens on December 3rd when he fights Fury, if he fights Fury.
If they come through with it, he knocks him out.
And in terms of the broadcast situation, I spoke to Bob Arum last week. He said that Fury's still got fights with them. So have conversations like that happened? How this could work from a broadcast? And is that the only stumbling block now for this fight?
I mean, look, we've still got to go through a contract process. That takes a period of time in itself. But the broadcasters, ultimately, everyone's willing, I believe, to work together to find a way to make this work. So they've got to go through that process currently. So let's see how that plays out. That's obviously with DAZN, BT, ESPN, as you mentioned there. So there's a lot of work still to be done on that side, and there's still a lot of work contractually to do. But let's see. Hopefully, everything's pointing in the right direction.
When do you expect to receive a contract from Queensberry on this fight?
As soon as possible. I mean, we met with them Friday. Hopefully, it comes in the next day or so.
And final one on this, what do you have a backup opponent, a number of backup opponents should this fight not happen for Joshua?
Yeah, like I say, AJ's plan was always to fight December 17th, so we had a plan in place for that, got a venue in place for that, and the key is keeping him active and getting him back out there as soon as possible.
Frank Smith, appreciate your time, and catch up later in the week.
Cheers, mate.